Welcome back. It's League Unlock. That's Mark. My name is Eric, and we finally reached it. The #1 spot on our LCK Power Rankings. We've talked about Kespa Cup a whole lot and how the overreactions are there for SKT. But if there's one team you can really actually take anything from, it's the team that won the entire event, went 8-0 in incredibly dominant fashion. Some of these games were complete stomps, especially against Damwon Gaming, the team that beat SKT. Of course, we're talking about Griffin, who were the Cinderella story from 2018 summer and the only team that didn't change their starting lineup heading into 2019. They should be the favorites for Spring Split.
There were three things that had gotten me super hyped up for the LCK 2019 split here after the Kespa Cup. Number one, of course, is seeing Papa Smithy's new look. Looks great, clean cut.
He looks like a villain.
Oh, man.
I like it.
He looks perfectly ready for the cover of GQ right there. And then the second thing that's got me so excited is that SKT All-Star lineup. Everybody knows, love me some SKT and Faker, so seeing a strong lineup there, that is great. But let's get right into it, because the #1 reason and the #1 team on the power rankings is Griffin. Had to be them. This is the team that if you like watching, you like playing League of Legends, anything, and you don't even care about esports, show them Griffin, because this level that they're playing at is unbelievably exciting to watch. Some of these tower dives are just incredibly perfect. I can't even get
Mark
the words
can't even get it out.
It doesn't even matter because they're so good, because Griffin is able to pull these plays off. These guys, I can't even say anything else about them. This is the #1 team you gotta be watching.
I think people kind of forgot about them because they didn't go to Worlds. They kind of had a disappointing end to 2018 summer. And then you finally see them again in Kespa Cup, and it looks like they've been practicing nonstop over the off season. And it's just the exact same thing that we saw in 2018 summer. Their champion pools are absolutely insane. They immediately seem to have a perfect grasp on the meta, yet again, how to play the game. And yeah, these extended team fights and turret dives that they do are unmatched by probably any team on the entire planet right now. And we got to talk about the drive that these guys have. When they started 6-0, Tarzan and Viper were both saying, yeah, we think we can legitimately go undefeated in the LCK. Obviously, that didn't end up happening. They slumped a bit at the second half of the split. But come best ofs, they were right back in form. These guys are hungry to win, and you know they're upset with how last season ended.
Yeah, and when you're watching these highlights here, it's just incredible, because it's not just the team rolling through the other side and, oh, maybe they picked someone out here making a mistake. This is all happening because these Griffin players are making that first move. They're making that outplay. They're finding ways to be better than their opponent at almost every opportunity here, and that's what's leading to so many fantastic performances on this team, and what makes them unbelievably exciting to watch. You have to be watching Griffin. I don't care if you don't watch LCK, watch Griffin, because this is the team that you need to be watching heading into 2019. They are the guys.
And obviously, all the fame and accolades, all the attention go to the likes of Tarzan, Chovy, and Viper. But even guys like Sword and Lahens, who often fly under the radar. Lahens had some incredible Thresh games at the Kespa Cup, game-winning hooks in that matchup, and Sword just almost seems to never lose in that top lane. And by the way, no one is at the age of 22 on this roster. Everyone's 22 or under. Crazy. Most of them are still teenagers.
Yeah, I think Chovy is just turning 18 this year as well.
Viper's 19, Tarzan's 19.
The kids are all right here on Griffin.
They're more than all right. They're the best.
Yeah, and when you're looking here, and you've talked about it, mentioning some of the other guys here that don't get quite the spotlight, like Chovy, like Viper get here. You're looking in the top side, Sword has held his own against some of the toughest opponents that you can have here in the LCK, proving himself on tanks, on carries as well. The performance is there. And then in the bottom side, Lahens does not get the recognition that he needs to be getting here. Yes, Viper is so strong in his ability to play, but you gotta be having your own skill here, your own mental fortitude as a support there, to be able to switch up from, hey, Viper's going to be playing Lucian, no problem, I'll play it pretty standard. And oh, no problem, my ADC is going to be a Cassiopeia this time. I'm ready to rock with it, hitting those thresh hooks. Lahen's definitely not a support to be messed with here in the LCK. 2019, this is Griffin's year.
And I think that's one of the biggest things to talk about that they have going for them in that bottom lane is Viper's champion pool specifically, because You've seen him play Kaisa and pop off, single-handedly carry some games there. He's played all the meta AD carries, and even now, when everyone's shifted away from that, he didn't play a marksman at all in that matchup, the finals against Gen G, 2 Cassiopeias, and then a Jace AD carry, and was dominant in the laning phase pretty much all 3 games, forcing bans out of there. So he is just an absolute nightmare matchup for other bot lanes.
And that's the crazy thing, is that even in that series against Gen G there, where he is playing the Cassiopeia bottom side with the Thresh alongside him, you had to be thinking, yeah, okay, after that game 1 performance, well, that's where they're going to be going with it again. But you just can't be that sure of the way things are going to be working with the draft and what the champion pools are for these players on Griffin and how well they're able to execute it on the main stage there. That is a key difference between them and a lot of these other teams that are able to do it in practice, but not when it really matters. Griffin has shown us that they're able to do it when it counts the most.
And I still think that mage in the bot lane meta that lasted for almost half the summer split, I think Griffin was the team that benefited the most because Viper started spamming and practicing things like the Vladimir. We talked how many times about him being the only guy who actually looked comfortable on that pick in multiple regions, and now he still has that champion pool under his belt that he can bust out at pretty much any point in time. And I think the changes in the bottom lane have actually worked out pretty damn well for Riot now, because you still have these pocket picks that are viable, but still marksmen are picked way more often.
I gotta straight up call out Lehens there for that Thresh hook on the Ezreal that we just saw there. That cost me. I was playing some Nexus Blitz with friends while that was going on, and I just straight up AFK for at least 5 minutes there after I saw that clip, and I was like, that was insane.
9
that was
times
just
on
totally
mark,
insane.
guys. You can't leave Nexus Blitz. That's worse than leaving a solo queue.
Yeah, don't worry. I deserved all the reports after that one, but I gotta say, Lehens, you're partly responsible for some of that insane gameplay for that one.
So one report goes the way of Lehens. But the Griffin coming in at number 1 for the spring split, probably and maybe by the summer split, once SKT has developed a little bit of team synergy, these guys will be closer. But for heading into the first split of 2019, the returning starting lineup from Griffin, they should be the favorites.
Yeah, hey, SKT's all-star lineup, KT roster retooling here. There's a lot of very strong squads here for the LCK 2019. But you gotta pay your respect to these kids here on Griffin. Absolutely have to be your number 1 team in the LCK 2019.
And it was so sad. 2 times they were 1 game away from going to Worlds. That's why they're coming back fired up and looking for vengeance. That's all the time today for League Unlock. Eric and Mark with you guys. Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you next time.